In my opinion, I don't think of the ego as something to be destroyed, as I mentioned before. I believe the ego is more of a tool to be used, and you can, but the ego is also like a dog. You kind of have to have it on a leash or put it within like a playpen so that it has limitations to what it can do. So, for myself, my belief and what has worked well for me is to allow the ego, appreciate what the ego's purpose is, which is simply to retain that sense of persona, that sense of perspective as an individual disconnected from God, disconnected from source, disconnected from each other. Because from that, you gain experiences and you have an opportunity to witness life in a very unique way. That's the point of coming down here. But if you get rid of it, you lose that ability and you're going to operate from a completely different mindset, different perspective. You give away your hammer. So that's why I don't agree with like, let's get rid of the ego and let's not use it to our advantage. Use it to our advantage. Use it. Some people have the dog out in the lawn because it keeps away, predators. It keeps away people who are trying to get all up in your home. Some people use a hammer to build something, but you can also use a hammer to destroy. So I'm not going to destroy what's been created. It exists for a reason. I'm going to understand and embrace it and use to my advantage because there's a point to it. It really bothers me. It really bugs me when I read the works of people who are incredible, but they just get caught up in escaping the human condition. And I think that's his spin. I think that's the spin of Eckhart Tolle, is to escape the human condition and experience. But the thing about it is, we're here to have that very experience. We're here to have human experience. We're human beings having a human experience. And so that is the point of being here. Human beings having a human experience. That doesn't mean that there isn't a spiritual being beneath the surface being witness to everything. Everything we are experiencing from the human perspective is for that spiritual being. It's for that spiritual understanding and awareness. So that's all for that. But we're still supposed to be human. And that's just the thing that gets me about people. It's like, let's get rid of the ego or let's stop paying attention. And he's very good. He was just describing the problem. If we are designed by default to exist as the personas that we are and to experience through the perspective and lens of our perspective, we're designed to experience through that lens. And I'm supposed to experience life through Ferny. I would not be able to grant you or give you the attention or the information or the knowledge that I possess without the perspective of Ferny, because Ferny's what experienced it. Ferny's what relates to it. Ferny is what understands it through the perspective of Ferny's life and conditioning and experiences. All of that has been a recipe for this juicy steak that is Ferny's, knowledge and information that I'm giving y'all. So that's the thing. And so y'all each have the same responsibility. Y'all each are here to experience through the same perspective, through the same forms. So when you start to detach yourself from life, and there's nothing wrong with having moments of a break. We all need a break, right? I'm like, oh crap, I'm in a human body. I need a break. She needs a break, just like Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing. She needs a break. But you can retire when you're dead. When you're dead, you can retire. You're on the other side. You're done with the physical experience. But we're not retired. We're physical bodies still. We're here. So we're not retired, but we can take a break. And so I consider breaks when you throw yourself into something you're very passionate or you get a lot of joy from. I consider a break when I go on a walk and I'm in a meditative state. I consider a break when I'm having a meditative experience. I consider it a break when I'm realizing and remembering for just a moment that I'm not this physical form and I'm not this mind and this body. This is all just a persona. This is all just the character that this soul, that is my soul, Aja, decided to put on for this act, for this performance, for this experience in this human form. We're all performers. We're all actors in this human stage. So all of that is it can be a lot, and sometimes we need a break, and it's okay to take a break and check out from time to time. Some people use some people do cannabis to take a break. Some people use drugs to take a break. Some people do a lot of different things to take a break, but we are all entitled to breaks. So take a break from time to time. Give yourself the experience of releasing and detaching yourself from the physical human experience. So that means meditating and practicing the art of detachment, where you don't feel so attached to everything. Then be it. So be it. Do it. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to feel so connected to everything, because it's going to make you crazy, and you're going to become more of a control freak than anything else. And that's a problem, is when you become such a control freak where you're so focused on every single thing that is happening in your life that you honestly do not control, you're just witnessing and experiencing, then you're going to make yourself crazy because you're operating from the egoic state of, I control this. This is mine. This is mine. It's not yours. This is not your, no. But whatever we can control, whatever we can affect, whatever we can manipulate, or we can have an influence on, do that. That's fine. Do that. Work on that part. But the rest of the world, you don't have any control over. I have no control over how people are like yelling at each other in the store because of who's got a mask and who doesn't. I don't have control over that. I don't have control over what's happening, in another country where they're bombing each other. I don't have control over that. I don't have control over, what's going on with Russia and the satellites in space. I don't have control over that. I personally don't have control over that. I only have control over getting on the stage, connecting with all of y'all, expressing and offering what I can and engaging with y'all in this way. I only have control over the work that I do every single day. I only have control over the way that I interact with my partner and the way I interact with my pets. I only have control over how much I invest with my family and friends and how much I don't. I only have control over those things. So that's on me. That's something that I'm directly accountable for. Everything else, don't have accountability to that. That's not where my place is. When I have an opportunity to be accountable to it, hell yeah, I'm going to step up and do what I got to do. But and unless that's the case, I don't need to be freaking out every second of every day over something that I honestly do not have control over. So it's important to take a break because it helps to reset you and to kind of pull you back into focusing on the things that really do matter for you, and then realizing that even that at the end of the day is only gonna have so much of an impact on our state of being. Because at the end of the day, underneath this skin, underneath this persona, underneath these words, underneath my perspective, I am a soul being that is a representation of God in one form, in a smaller package that is based in love, based in connection, based in authentic nature and being. That is the soul being me. And then I come down and I'm this physical form of me, and then I play around with this character, play around with what I got to play around with in this lifetime. But it's important to take a break. So give yourselves a break, give yourself permission to check out, to mentally like, okay, I'm done. Like today I'm done, this week I'm done, or whatever, and then give yourself a break. But then once you come back into it, realize that there's only so much you can do, and focus on that. Focus on what's in front of you, not on everything else. Because that's going to make you crazy. It's going to make you want to blow yourself up, and you don't want to do that. So let me go through some of the questions here that y'all are asking about. Well, you're overcomplicating it. So, Xtina, what's happening is you're overcomplicating it. You are getting caught up in what's supposed to come from the meditation or what it's supposed to do to you versus just breathing. And so here's how you do it. Sit your ass down and you close your eyes. Actually, let's do a meditation right now, y'all. Let's do a meditation right now because this will be a great way for you to experience what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so let me give you an example of just a basic meditation. So just give yourselves a moment and catch your breath and just get comfortable. You don't have to like lay down or, do anything like that. Just get comfortable. And as you're sitting there and getting comfortable, then you begin to bring your attention back to self. And what I mean by self is you, the physical form in the first layer. So first layer conscious awareness is the physical form. So we become aware of our body. We become aware of our sensations of our body. So we still have, we're feeling our hands, we're feeling our legs, we're feeling our blood pumping, we're feeling, maybe sensations in our head, we're feeling our ears reacting to the sound of my voice. We're hearing all these things. We're experiencing all these things. And as you do that, then you just continue to breathe and just breathe in and out. Just like, okay, all right, okay, yeah, okay, I'm feeling it. And you're just being aware of what you feel on a physical level. And as you breathe and just notice, you might have sounds starting to happen. Now, if you're in a busy place or a place like a city, you will have sounds beginning to go off, or people in the other room, or family, or people watching TV, whatever it is. And that's okay. That's allowed. You don't have to have them be quiet because you live in a world of what it seems like chaos. You live in a world of chaos, and that's okay. That's a part of the plan. It's a part of why it's supposed to be that way. But you don't have to give yourself over to that. Now, if your kid is freaking like blowing the hell out of that TV and they got the damn thing too high, I'm gonna need you to like lower the shit down because this ain't AMC 30. So let's bring it down to a reasonable level. But aside from that, if it's just TV in the background, that's not gonna hurt you. Unless you're listening to the news while you're listening to me, then that's gonna make you crazy. But just be aware of what's going on around you. Okay, yeah, like hearing the sounds of, here where I'm at, I'm hearing quietness. I'm hearing the sound of the computer and the engine kind of going. and I can feel the wind kind of, the air from the fan above me, just like moving air across my skin, feels slightly cooler. So you start to notice these subtle little details in your physical experience. And if I'm moving a lot, so that's keeping me from getting more quiet into my body, but you don't need to be moving. You don't need to be doing anything, just breathing and being aware. And as you begin to breathe and continue to like surrender to the experience of just being, then what tends to happen is you start to lose sensation within some of the extremities. So you start to lose sensation of how active your feet were, how active your legs were, how active your hands were. You start to lose a little sensation and sensitivity, and you begin to retreat into your core, into your center. Now, some people like to retreat into their heart space. I always retreat into my mind, into right behind my third eye, because I believe we exist as small spheres of energy. And once we connect to the body, it immediately interacts on an energetic and electrical level, and then it starts to facilitate the use of the body. But I believe we exist as these little spheres in our head. So I'm this sphere in my head, and I'm just aware. I'm just aware of the sounds. I'm aware of my breathing. I'm aware that I'm a physical thing in this body. I'm a physical thing. So, and as you breathe more and breathe more, then you will retreat further, and you'll retreat further. And you will also begin to realize, if I weren't talking, you would start to pay attention to your thoughts, because your brain is designed to grab your attention and to direct it. So once you start to pay attention to yourself and become self-aware, then you begin to lose the sensations of the body. You become more aware of what's going on in the mind. And at that point, people tend to react, respond, struggle with the thought process. Oh, my bill is due. I forgot to make the payment today. Oh, shit. I got to get online and make the payment today. And the first response is to react. No, it's okay. I can do it when I'm done with this. I'll put that to the side. Oh man, I forgot to call my friend back. I told her I was going to call her back. I've just been so busy. It's okay. You know what? I can call her back when I have a chance. Right now is not the moment. This is more important in this moment. So I'm going to honor this moment. Doctor, when am I going to ever get past my back issues? That's okay. This is a physical sensation. It is a part of what I've become and that's okay. I'm going to let it be. I'll deal with it after I'm done with this. Oh, my stomach is growling. I think I'm hungry. Maybe I want to eat something. Maybe I'm craving McDonald's. I don't know. I don't really want to cook today. Do I really want to drive? Maybe I don't have the money. I don't have enough money. Oh my God, I need to get a better job that pays me more money. That's okay. Maybe I'm broke. Maybe I'm hungry. That's okay. I am allowed to feel broken. I'm allowed to be hungry. So I'm just going to put that to the side here, because it doesn't really mean anything for me to be doing right now. So you get into the process of just paying attention to the passing thoughts and the passing moments. And as you do that, what tends to happen is the thoughts become less intense, because at that point, the ego's job, which is to focus you on the perspective and the personality and the life of the individual, is no longer being given as much power or as much control of dominating your existence. You're just aware of it. You're allowing it to exist. You're keeping it within a playpen. You're keeping it on a leash, and you're just letting it be, just letting it be, just letting it be. And as you do this more, and if you practice this more, you become to be aware of the subtle variations within your thoughts. And you start to realize that there's different levels of thoughts, different types of thoughts. Some thoughts are focused on fear and lack. Some thoughts are based on anger and rage or issues around that. Some thoughts are based around feeling needy, or feeling like you want love, or feeling like the neediness of yourself. And then after you start to make peace with that and just let it be, all of a sudden you start to notice, and you will notice that there are other thoughts mixed in there. There are other subtle energies mixed in within those patterns. It might just be a sensation or a feeling, but it doesn't have anything it's connected to. Why am I feeling sad? Why am I randomly thinking about this other person that I haven't talked to in years? Why you would notice subtle variations of energy. And as you get used to it and you practice this on a regular basis, 5-10 minutes a day, you actually start to give more energy and attention to those subtle thoughts and energies, and they amplify. And then you'll get more skilled at being aware of them, more skilled at understanding that they're there, and beginning to play with them, to engage with them. And so I'm not asking you to engage, just being aware of it is engaging. It's giving room, making space for these subtle energies within yourself. And if you practice this even more, you will actually start to pull away from those subtle energies, and you will just be. and you won't even be thinking about anything. You won't even be focused on anything. You won't be drawn into a thought, reaction mode. You will just be. And that's the state of presence, of awareness of the now, because nothing changes that. Nothing is going to make that different. Unless you were in the middle of a volcano and the shit was blowing up and going up your asshole, your asshole's not burning. So it's okay. That's not the problem right now. Right now it's just being present and being here, that's what you need to focus on. So that's it. It's that simple. So when it comes to meditation, that is just a basic, like level meditation, like basic bitch level meditation that you can use to achieve many things. You can use that to amplify your psychic abilities and your sensitivity to that. You can use it to bring your anxiety and stress down to a place of presence and being aware of just yourself as a being. You can use it to allow yourself to communicate and connect with God. I tend to have those conversations with God in those moments when I'm walking and doing my walks, and it's just me, not my partner, because whenever we're walking together, it's his time with me and he gets to talk to me about whatever he wants to talk to me about. But when it's just me, I have those internal conversations with God, and I have conversations about all kinds of things, and I go into a lot of depth, and then I'll stop and start taking notes because I'm like, I need to take notes because this sounds important. So that's what I do. But that's pretty much it. That's a basic level form of meditation. If you're doing all this extra stuff, that's just extra. It's not necessary. They didn't have like all these crazy things that they had to do back in the day when people would meditate in monasteries, and they didn't have to do all that. They just sat, breathe. It's just sit and be fit, and sit and be sit. Just that's it. That's all you have to do. Nothing extra. So you focus on that and just practice that 5-10 minutes a day. You'll get more, it'll be easier for you to go into that state and it's just to be present. And then you don't have to worry about how to meditate or, you'll get better at it. And it's almost like yoga. It's like exercise. You have to build into it because automatically most people have such a busy, active mind that they immediately get caught up in the chain of thoughts that they have. And then they start going in that direction or this direction. Hey, where's Ray? Oh, she over there. She's chasing that turkey from HEB. People start having pursuing these random thought patterns and bring it back. You got to bring it back and just like let that pattern go, and you don't have to do anything about it or react to it. That's all it is. It's just practice. So, and if you want, you can just think of those thoughts, think of that noisy talking bitch in your head. Think of her as like this, like, oh, she's my, she's my friend. And she drains me and I try to ignore her every chance I get because I just don't really want to deal with it. Like, think of it that way. Like, my ego is that bitch that just gets on my nerves and I don't really want to deal with her right now. And so I'm just going to let her talk and just sit in my own, do whatever I want to do. And that's how you have to handle it. So